Well, it's the fourth and last round. It's an interesting contest where the American has gone in front by 1 point. He's had a very good third round, trailing after the first two. He'll grow in confidence now. He's the harder puncher. Kinsella has been throwing plenty of punches. And he's just got to get that couple more in this last round to win this contest on points. Only 1 point the difference coming into this final round. The American in front. The American, Ron Seiler, one of the best on the American team, I think, according to his record. He's age 21. And he's a fairly mature boxer because he's been boxing as a teenager in plenty of international competition. Kinsella much the same, although Kinsella is only 19. And just recently developed into a top-class senior boxer. And he is top-class, and he's boxing a world-class boxer here. He's been leading for the first couple of rounds. Now, can he pull back that margin now and get his nose in front of this final round? It's possible, but not if he takes too many of those big right hands. Trying to find the target with his right hands, Kinsella. Throws the punches, but misses. His timing going a little bit astray in this last round. The American cool all the way through the bout. Takes a right hand to the face. The harder punching from Seiler. It's wearing Kinsella down slowly. But Kinsella will go right to the final bell. He'll pull out all the stops. And there it is. All over. Did he do enough? Or did the Americans stay in front?
On a computer scoring of 12 points to 7, the winner of that contest, the blue corner, United States of America.
Yes, America wins the first one. He ground his man down, had a fairly comfortable last round, and Seiler wins, but a good display there from John Paul Kinsella. There's the score, Ron Seiler 12 points to John Paul Kinsella 7. It's the third round of an interesting contest here. The American Martinez 1 point ahead, 3-2 against Liam Cunningham. Cunningham from Saints Boxing Club in Belfast, Irish champion. Martinez is going for him in the third round. Looks to be a powerful puncher. Cunningham may not look it, but he's a man who punches fairly hard himself, can take a punch. Well, that was a bit of an onslaught there at the opening of the round. And Cunningham stood his ground. Trying to push his man back. He's got to get this fellow moving backwards. He's chasing him now. Again, good scoring there from Cunningham. Makes his opponent miss. Doesn't get careless about his own accuracy, though. Got to pick his spot. Keep his boxing together. There's the danger punch all the time. The big, heavy punch from Martinez. He's caught again. Top slapping the inside of the glove. He did hurt Cunningham for a few seconds there. Now is Cunningham beginning to lose his punching power in this, the third round. Oh, beautiful punching there. 1, 2, 3. And a good reply. Well, there were some certainly heavy punches thrown there, and he held his own reasonably well at the end of that round. Well, here's the final round coming up, and it's a big hill for the Irishman to climb here, trailing 9 points to 4. If anything, got through with some very good punches in that third round. So at the end of the round, Cunningham came back reasonably well, but he's not landing enough of them. He's got to land more. Cunningham showed some signs of weariness in the third round. Now can he last out this last 2 minutes? He's up against a powerful puncher. And he gets those short punches going. There's a big right hand again. Cunningham must avoid those swinging right hands to the chin. Getting a little bit scrappy now. Martinez now beginning to coast a little bit. He can afford to. He knows he's well ahead, and he scores with a big right hand again to the face. Cunningham fights back, but his punching power is gone. I don't think you could ever outpunch this fellow. Good left hook, but to no avail. Well, there's some good punching in this last round. A very weary Liam Cunningham coming to the end of a grueling contest, which he has scored with some good solid punches, but to no avail. Martinez took his best punches and was still coming back. And quite a hard bout all the way through.
The winner of that contest, Martinez in the blue corner.
Yes, he got only one winner, and he wins by a biggish margin in the end, but it was a tough enough contest, 15 points to 7. So there's While McKenna's still in front, just by 1 point, 3 points to 2. So he mustn't make too many mistakes in this last round. He's got to get under those long punches, get inside with a few short ones, and keep the pace slow enough. Doesn't want to get into a war here. Johnny Vasquez, promising young boxer. He's only 18. Very promising young American. But the experience is on the side of McKenna, and he's been using his experience here quite a bit, trying to sort this fellow out. A tame opening round with no score, but he's drifting back into the contest all the time, trying to score. Now, it's not going to be too much action in this last round, because it wouldn't suit McKenna, I think. Just has to keep in front. That's more like it. In, scores with a right hand, then disappears. This is computer boxing now. Make your man miss, score with one, and then take cover for a while. The American can't nail him. Almost did there with the right hand, just slightly off. Well, it's a low-scoring contest, and if it stays like that, McKenna could win. Using his movement from left to right, never standing still. That's the right approach to this contest for Damien McKenna. And there's the end. He's gone the distance, and he may have won it too. And this will have frustrated going back to the corner. He just could not nail the Irishman.
The winner of that contest, McKenna.
Yes, a clear-cut win for McKenna, and that's the way to approach a contest like that. He boxed magnificently all the way through. It might have been the most exciting contest, but he got his nose in front and stayed in front all the way through, particularly in that last round. Halfway stage now, and we're in for a bit of a surprise here, or the Americans in for a surprise. Johnny Campbell is in front by 4 points to 2. And you feel that we haven't seen the best of Durrell as yet. The American Durrell takes that looping right hand. And remember, this fellow was voted the outstanding boxer in American Championships. Pushes, pulls at Campbell there as Campbell came in. He's giving away an awful lot in reach and height here. Doesn't seem to be worrying Campbell all that much. Keeps the hands up high. Not that easy to catch with a good punch. Durrell is getting a little bit frustrated with the southpaw approach. Not an awful lot of scoring here. But at least the American is not getting through with big punches. Campbell makes a miss every so often and then counters quite well. There's the danger all the time that he run into a good straight punch from the American, that left hand. He's been checked now for not punching correctly. Campbell will want a little bit more movement from side to side rather than coming in straight. That's more like it. Scores with the right hand at the end of the round.
Fourth and final round.
Well, the last round's coming up now with Campbell leading by 6 points to 4, and the Americans in for a bit of a surprise here. One of their star boxers behind by 2 points. The corner urging him to do something in this last round. But Johnny Campbell, if he can stay in front, it'll be a great victory for him. Johnny Campbell from Southmead Boxing Club, St. Patrick's. Johnny Campbell, age 20. His opponent is only 17. And there, once again, he's losing balance. Not the most exciting contest. The American never really got settled into it the way he'd like to. Campbell having a fair amount of success. Now the American's nerves are ragged at the edges, I think, at this stage. He's somewhat frustrated. Again, the spoiling and holding. Campbell is one of the slipperiest customers you'd see in the ring. He's very hard to pin down in one spot. And there again, he brings in a big right hand. Very deceptive style. But his defenses are quite good. And he gets a fair amount of power into the punches, and he certainly finished the round quite well there, scoring with one good punch just at the end of the round.
And ladies and gentlemen, by a computer scoring of 7 points to 4, the winner of that contest, Campbell, Ireland.
Yes, Johnny Campbell, the winner. And he gets a great ovation. A clear enough winner at 7 points to 4. Very disappointed, Andre Durrell, who never really got into the contest, and he's disappointed he didn't win. Well, that's the way it goes. A great win there for the Irishman, John Paul Campbell.
Okay.
Second round, the score level at 3-all. Moore for Ireland and Bush for America. Well, they've each tasted the punching power of the other, and Moore seems happy enough to come forward. He's got to tighten up his defense a little bit more as he comes in, and not leave himself wide open to a left hand, a left hook particularly. Southpaw American. That's a good right hand from Moore. That's more like it. The American holds on. Been checked for holding. Moore. He can keep pushing this fellow back. He'll get him in trouble. Missing with a lot of those punches. You got to pick his spot. That's a bit better. He scores well with that right hand. But this American comes back when you hit him. He sank a couple of good body blows to the ribs of Jim Moore. And this is the second round, and this is warming into quite a contest, this. Moore has got to be a little more accurate with that big right hand. End of the second round. Well, it's an entertaining contest so far. Halfway through so far in this contest, and Moore is in front, 7 points to 4. Jim Moore, Brandon Bush. Brandon Bush, the American, southpaw. And Moore has been dictating the pace here so far. Recently crowned Irish champion and winner of the Nations quadrangular show in Liverpool recently. He won the gold medal. Moore was also voted our best boxer in the Irish Championships. Very promising boxer, Jim Moore from our club. He's been crowding the American all the way through here. And he's been scoring well with a looping right hand to the body and head. And he's caught there with what looked to be a dangerous enough right hand. Pushes his man back there. Well, he's not showing an awful lot of respect for the Americans' punches here, because Bush has landed a few, and Moore doesn't seem to be upset by them. Relying a lot with that big right hand. And standing his ground when the American hits him, he stays his ground and comes back. That was a good third round for Jim Moore. I'd say he's happy enough there.
Fourth and final round.
Well, it's the last round, only 2 minutes left, and Jim Moore way out in front, 11 points to 6 at the Americans' corner. They've been telling his man he's way behind on points. He's got to go for a stoppage here, pull out all the stops and let go. Easier said than done. He gets a very strong boxer in Jim Moore. Moore is strong. He's catching his man continuously, that big right hand. Brandon Bush knows his behind, and he knows too that he's got to do something very special in this last round. But Moore has the confidence, and Moore has the strength. Takes a few shots to the body there. But at no stage has Moore ever stepped back from this fellow. The Americans' punches don't seem to have too much of an effect on him. That looked a bit dangerous, tit for tat, but again, Moore stands his ground and hits back. Referee looking closely as if he was going to give a count, and there he is, giving him a standing count in this final round. He was stunned just for a second or two there by one of those right hands. And Moore has outpunched this man. Shuffling forward all the time, and again he drives home a good right hand, this time to the body and head. And he's never allowed the American into the contest, and that surely is a win, a clear-cut win, and he seems to be the star, the new star of Irish amateur boxing, Jim Moore from the Arklow Boxing Club.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a computer scoring of 15 points to 8. The winner of that contest, Moore, the pride of boxing, in the red corner.
15 points to 8, clear-cut win, and a very good win for Jim Moore.
Great job, gentlemen.
And the American Booker in front by just a single point. 3 points to 2. This American has speed on his side. He's 1 point ahead. With one good punch from either boxer could finish this contest inside the distance. Reynolds trying to bustle his man. Get in close. There he's left open. His chin and the fast hands of Booker picks him off. Reynolds throwing punches for all he's worth, trying to chop this man down. Loses balance there as he misses with a big swinging haymaker. He'll keep throwing the punches. But getting them through is another thing. His coach, Mercedes Taft, been told to keep quiet in the corner there. From Sligo, Stephen Reynolds against this very promising American heavyweight with fast hands. Now is Reynolds succeeding to wear him down a little bit? I don't know, at long reach. Booker beginning to come back into this fight. Reynolds stalking him, takes a cracking right hand, doesn't even blink, still comes forward. That looked a good right hand to the chin from the American. It didn't stop Reynolds from coming forward. But it's the third round. Stephen Reynolds has a lot of work to do. He's dropped way behind now. 9 points to 3. And it's the fast hand of the American. He's catching the judge's eyes. He's scoring well with those long punches. But Reynolds will still come forward. Reynolds as fit as they come and as tough as they come. Swinging punches for all he's worth. That's his man out of the ropes. But Reynolds, he's a heavy puncher, but not what you call a very accurate one. He might stop his man inside the distance, but you never know. He knows he's behind, so he's got to come forward and try and do something very special. And he is pulling it out. It's a better round for Reynolds. He's getting through with a few, and he's beginning to upset Booker. Booker's defense is tight enough, though. Reynolds now concentrating on the body with a good right hand, sinks it right into the ribs. Well, a recovery. He hadn't got such a good second round. He's fighting his way back slowly but surely into this contest. And he's taken some of the speed out of Red Al Booker. And there at the end of the round, the American hanging on the ropes. Well, a bit of a recovery there for Stephen Reynolds in the crowd, giving him every encouragement. And so to the final round, and this is quite an exciting contest. The American Brooker in front by only 2 points now against Stephen Reynolds. 9-7, so Reynolds can do it. It looked an impossible task going into the third round, but here in the fourth round, he's only 2 points behind. You don't see as many exciting heavyweight contests as this. Reynolds is giving it everything he's got. From Sligo, the Irish heavyweight champion, always in the peak of condition. And that's why he's still on his feet now, after taking quite a few punches in the first round. But he's back in the fight now. And the faster opponent, the faster heavyweight, Red Al Booker, beginning to slow down. Again, Reynolds walks through the punches. He doesn't mind taking them, so long as he can get through with a few himself. Spoiling, mauling, but still trying to score with punches. The American tried to spring. He's holding on the blind side of the referee, but he tries to spring into life. Chops down with a right hand. Reynolds just barely misses with his. Well, they're putting everything. They're out on the feet, the two of them here. And this is going to be a difficult one to score. Now the American coming back into it now. The man who started as favorite, I suppose. And there it's all over. Reynolds a little bit disappointed, I think, that he didn't nail his man properly in that last round. We'll never know. We'll hear from the judges quick enough.
The computer scoring has it. America 10 points, Ireland 10 points. On a countback. On a countback of the computer, the winner by a computer scoring of 44 points to 39. Booker in the blue corner.
And the American go to the final round, and you can see that Roach is way in front now, 5-2. 5 points, 2 for the American. This American, Julian Townsend from Brooklyn, New York. He's been told he's got to do something special in this last round, and no doubt he will go hell for leather to try and catch Michael Roach. Roach, on the other hand, will be as slippery as usual. He may grab, he may hold, he may run, but he's very, very difficult to pin down. Makes his man miss again. Fairly comfortable lead of 3 points, but it might be pulled back. And that wasn't the best of behavior there from the American. Been warned for misuse of the head, and a warning against him. I think he's beginning to lose his rag here. He's frustrated that he can't get near Roach. Roach is trying and playing almost, making him miss. When they're in close, he's inclined to grab and hold and spoil. So the Americans' efforts are not producing any dividends whatsoever. The time is ticking by now in this last round. The only chance for the American is a knockout, and we're afraid there's not going to be one now.
Jab, Michael, jab! Jab, Bob. Speed, speed.
But again, he's gone. Well, that's Roach at his best. Staying away from the punishment and countering every so often.
The winner of that contest by a computer scoring of 7 points to 3. Roach in the red corner.
For the second time in this contest, but the Americans tied up matters shortly afterwards in fight number 8 when the US champion Andre Ward beat Ring's John Duddy 5-4 in the middleweight division, and that was to lead the contest at 4-all. So things could not be closer than at the National Stadium as we head into the final bout of the night, that between the super heavyweights of Eamon Falvey from the St. Coleman's Club in Cork and America's Jason Estrada. We're going to join this at the start of round 2 with Falvey trailing by 3 points to 0.
Second round, and Estrada in front by 3-0 in the super heavyweight contest. Jason Estrada weighing in just over 14 stone, about 14 and a half stone. And is an equally big man in Falvey in Cork. Falvey not able to land effectively with his punches in the opening round. He's got to do something very special here. That's more like that. He scores with one there, and then leaves himself wide open to a looping right hand to the chin. Falvey, with very little experience at this level of boxing, a brave man to come in against a man from America with the reputation of being one of the most promising of the big men. Falvey tries to be first, but he's out of range a lot with those left-hand jabs. There's the right hand a little bit better. So when he moves in to try and land with a big right hand, he's into the danger zone. And he's caught there, and the referee decides to give him a standing count of 8. Give him a bit of a breather. He's got to do something very special here. Even when he does land with the punch, he doesn't seem to have an awful lot of power in him. And Estrada now looking comfortable at the bell, the end of the second round. Well, Falvey's got to do something special and land a big knockout blow here, because he's trailing by 8 points, 9 points to 1 in favor of the American super heavyweight Jason Estrada. So what can Falvey do against this young, strong and fairly fast big man? There's a swinging right hand. I thought he was going to be given a standing count on this at the end in sight, I think. He's dazed, doesn't look too happy, puts up his hands as if to say I'm all right, but I don't think he is. And this is the third round. Referee says box on. And the towel, I see his corner may throw in the towel. There's another count. And I think the referee has seen enough. Or will he say, no, he stops it. Well, it was getting one-sided, no harm done. Falvey had put on a brave display against a smart and fairly promising super heavyweight in Jason Estrada.